Welcome to the Ask Ralph podcast, where listening to an experienced financial professional can help you make sense of confusing questions, current headlines, and industry trends about taxes, small business, financial decision-making, investment strategies, and even the art of proper budgeting, as Ralph makes the complex simple by sharing his real-world knowledge with all things financial. Now here's your host, Ralph Estep Jr.
Well, welcome back to another episode of the Ask Ralph Show. I'm your host, Ralph Estep Jr., and today we have a thought-provoking topic that might make some of you squirm a little. Not my intention, but it's something we need to talk about. So we're going to discuss the 4 best pieces of money advice that people hate to hear. Yes, you heard it right. Advice that may not be popular, but can truly transform your financial life. So when we come back, we're going to dive right in. So make sure you join us today.
Ask Ralph will be right back.
Hey, I want to take a few minutes and just tell you about the latest book I've written. The name of the book is Mastering Your Finances, Your Personal Guide to Financial Freedom. And listen, folks, it's not just a book. This is an actual roadmap to securing a thriving financial future. As a seasoned accountant, I penned this book to put the power of financial planning right at your fingertips. This book will transform your financial landscape from a confusing maze of numbers and jargon to a clear and well-trodden path towards prosperity. This book is written for every potential user, from the first-time person trying to get their finances in order to a well-seasoned person who's been trying to do this for a long time. So what I want you to do is to discover the profound impact of strategic planning as you journey through real-life examples, practical tips, and insightful advice. This book is more than a guide. It's a lifeline to financial literacy and independence. This is a way for you to take control of your financial destiny and embrace the freedom that comes with financial stability. This book is an essential read for anyone seeking to navigate the world of personal finance with confidence and ease. The book is available right now on Amazon.com. You just search for the name Ralph Estep, and you can get it either on paperback or on Kindle. So check it out when you get a chance.
And now back to the podcast.
Well, welcome back. And like I said, we're going to talk about the 4 best pieces of money advice that people hate to hear. And like I've said many times on the podcast, if you find our podcast valuable, I encourage you to please leave a review and please share it with other people that can benefit from what we discuss here. So let's dive right into the topic. The first piece of advice that people often hate to hear, and trust me, no one wants to hear this, and that is real simple: live below your means. It's easy to get caught up in the consumerist culture and feel the pressure to keep up with the Joneses. But living beyond our means can lead us down a dangerous path of debt and financial stress. By embracing frugality and spending less than we earn, we create room for savings, investments, and ultimately financial freedom. And trust me, folks, as I do more financial counseling with clients, this is an area where you can really see an immediate effect on your bottom line when you live below your means. You know, it's great to have all the newest stuff, and it's great to be able to say, well, I've got the same thing every. And you know, the problem is social media makes us want to do those things. And I don't even want to go on a tirade about social media today, but it truly does give us this, desire to want to keep up with everyone around us. But truth be told, that is the best advice I can give you, and that is live below your means. The second piece of advice is closely related, and a lot of people don't do this. It's create an emergency fund. Many people cringe at the idea of setting aside money for emergencies because it means delaying gratification or sacrificing immediate wants. However, having an emergency fund provides peace of mind during unexpected situations like job loss or medical emergencies. It acts as a safety net so you don't have to rely on your credit cards or loans when life throws curveballs. And believe me, a lot of people don't have these. And it's sad because this is something that can really help you, when you run into a problem, is to have that, emergency fund, and because the easiest thing you do at that point is just, throw your hands up and, throw it on a credit card or go borrow money as a personal loan, but it really doesn't help you. Now let's move on to the third piece of advice: paying off high interest debt first. This one can be a tough one because it requires discipline and prioritization. People often prefer paying off smaller debts first because they provide quick wins and psychological relief. However, by focusing on high interest debt like a credit card or personal loan first, you save more money in interest payments over time. What are we talking about here? And that is the idea of making a list of all of your debts. And next to that, next to each debt, after you put the amount, put the interest rate. And the truth is, you want to pay off the things that have the highest interest rate first, even if those are the biggest loans, because those are the things that are going to cost you the most money. So that's just a simple tool, but it really does make a huge impact. So lastly, but certainly not least important, is the advice to invest for the long term. In our fast-paced world, we crave instant gratification and quick results. But successful investing requires patience and a long-term perspective. It's really about staying invested through market fluctuations and allowing your investments to grow over time. While it may not be as exciting as chasing short-term gains, investing for the long term can lead to significant wealth accumulation. I have clients come in and meet with me, and they look at their 401k statement, every month, and they say, "Ralph, this is terrible. We're losing money." And I have to constantly remind them, investing and taking investments is a long-term approach. Now, the truth of the matter is, if you're getting up there in age, you don't have the ability to recover from significant downturns. So that's when you really need to speak with your financial advisor and make sure that you are comfortable with the investments that you have so that you're not trying to wait out the next cycle. But if you're a young person, 20s, 30s, 40s, or even early 50s like myself, you really still have to look at things over the long term. Of course, there are going to be downturns. Now, look, I don't give personal financial advice as far as, investing and things like that. I rely on, people to do that. So I would encourage you to do the same. So there you have it, my friends, the 4 best pieces of advice, money advice that people hate to hear. Let's go over them again. Living below your means, creating an emergency fund, paying off high interest debt first, and investing for the long term may not always be easy or glamorous choices, but they are essential steps towards financial stability and success. And listen, personal finance is a journey unique to each individual. It's important to seek guidance from qualified professionals who can help tailor these principles to your specific situations and circumstances. And look, I've said this before. I encourage you, please share this podcast with everyone you know. There are so many people out there who are hurting financially, and these 4 things could make a huge impact on their financial life. Talk to them about, what you heard from me. Say, hey, I know this guy, Ralph. I listened to his Ask Ralph podcast. He really shares some cool information on a daily basis. And like I said, if you've got time, leave us a review because, the more people that can hear about us, the more people we're going to help succeed financially. Well, that's all we have time for today on the Ask Ralph Show. I hope you found this episode enlightening and inspiring. As always, if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover for future episodes, please feel free to reach out. I've said it before, you can reach me at ralph@askralph.com. Just drop me a line. If you have a topic you want to cover, we'll definitely handle it on the podcast. So until next time, my friends, stay financially savvy.
Thank you for joining us on the Ask Ralph podcast. And with a simple click to subscribe, we'll invite you back to our next episode. And remember, financial issues don't have to be complicated. Just ask Ralph. The information contained in this episode of Ask Ralph is based on data available as of the date of its release. Saggio Accounting Plus and Ask Ralph Media, Inc. is under no obligation to update this content if changes occur. Applying this information to your specific situation requires careful consideration of all facts and circumstances, and any information provided is not to be considered as financial, tax, or legal advice. Please consult your tax advisor or attorney before acting on any material covered.